Welcome back to Credentialing Chronicles, where we spill the doctor's tea hotter than your morning coffee.
And give you the insider scoop on the wild worlds of credentialing, provider drama, and everything they don't teach you in med school.
I'm Shannon, and she's Nylene, two credentialing pros with front row seats to the chaos, looking to make you a part of it. Yes, we want you to engage in spilling this tea with us. We need your love and likes, and we want to know what you think too. Look for us, please, on LinkedIn, Instagram, and yes, baby, even TikTok.
Yes, we love to see your love. From fraud scandals to burnout breakdowns and why your favorite surgeon might actually be banned from 5 hospitals.
Honey, we've got the gossip and the practical advice to keep you out of trouble and ahead of the game.
So grab your coffee, your compliance checklist, and maybe a lawyer, and let's get into it.
Welcome back to Credentialing Chronicles, where we spill the tea, the receipts, and remind you why credentialing is not just paperwork. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Nylene, and baby, today's episode is one for the record books. We're going deep into Washington State, into the case of another Shannon, OBGYN, accused of turning exam rooms into his personal playground.
I know. And when it just came across our desk, I just could not believe it, And I'm out here in Washington right now, and I was just like, oh my goodness, multiple lawsuits, board charges, institutions. I mean, you have to say allegedly looking the other way, but when you read all of the patient complaints, disclaimer though, I have not credentialed this doctor, nor has Nylene. We just want to make sure we're out there getting this information. We can't have people running to us saying we are spilling some confidential information. We want to make sure everything's on the up and up. So anyway, we seen this on the headlines just like everybody else did, right, Nylene?
Yes. And we're not going to sugarcoat this one because honestly, we can't. We cannot sugarcoat.
It keeps coming up.
Yes. And the fact is there were complaints dating all the way back to 2005. So you're talking 20 years worth of drama. And the response is, oh no, that doctor's just being that doctor, Dr. So-and-so is being Dr. So-and-so, is just him being him.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it how it's just being a doctor. I mean, it's more like being a predator, right? I don't understand how institutions like the Washington Medical Board are looking the other way, for actions to take place. Several more patients, Lylene, had to submit formal complaints to the Washington State Department. And that urged the state to finally revert his medical license. The board didn't even listen to the patients.
It's sad that it took so many women.
So many.
This episode of Credentialing Chronicles is sponsored by Advanced Quality Compliance, your white glove credentialing crew. We get it. One person doing the work of 5, audit season looming, files all over the place. AQC steps in with expert hands and calm minds, digitizing your chaos, handling the details, and keeping you audit ready 24/7. Think less stress, more success with a touch of luxury. No stress, no mess, just AQC white glove service. Visit aqccvo.com to get started.
This episode of Credentialing Chronicles is sponsored by Med Elevate Solutions, your partner in turning healthcare chaos into operational clarity. With deep expertise in ASC, hospital, or physician office operations, clinical workflows, and compliance, their team helps you work smarter, not harder. Learn more at medelevatesolutions.com, simplifying processes, amplifying outcomes, one facility at a time. So let's set the scene because we got to get into the tea. Okay, so this doctor was licensed in Washington back in 1999. He is a board certified OBGYN practicing at Cadlick Regional in Providence Health and Services and their associated clinics. It's a very trusted, respected physician. He was delivering babies, he was treating moms, but you know what? Behind his white coat, there was a pattern of complaints stretching over 20 years. The wave of additional lawsuits allege that the medical centers actually failed to report to the appropriate authorities despite receiving multiple complaints. So obviously the complaints stretched far beyond just a medical action. They really translated into a criminal action, which we've explained many times on the podcast. It's two separate actions that unfortunately aren't talking to each other soon enough.
And, the medical board really just gets to act arbitrarily. I know that there's a board, they vote, they do all these things, but we see time and time again that these medical boards see this information, hear this information from several complainants, and they choose not to take any action. Zero. I'm so sorry. This has just been, it's not one patient, it's not one encounter. There are throats, dozens and dozens of women, different years. And guess what? Same situation they're explaining every single time. He had a pattern of behavior.
Go back to our first episode. Patients. Girl, the things they said about him, it was nasty, okay? And, we might as well just start with PSA section number 1 of patients. Hello. Patients say he did pelvic exams on them without gloves.
That's number 1.
Gloves.
Number 1. We see that a lot, though.
Doctors, nurses, you walk into a room, the first thing you do is pick up a new pair of gloves. Okay. He made sexual comments. One of them, he badgered a 16-year-old about her sex life. 16, how inappropriate is it? He physically blocked women from leaving an exam room until they threatened to call 911. And one patient says he performed a violent exam in 2023. That girl left her rectum and front bleeding. That's hard.
You know what? I just don't understand how I would sit on a table for that long. I would just get that. I would be like, what are you doing?
I kick him in the face.
I would just in the chest.
Can I just not kick him in the face?
In the chest at least. What are you doing, sir? And yet, you know what I discovered? Let's talk about this, Nylene Flores. Boop, boop, boop. Let's talk about this. His license, you all, is still active in the state of Washington.
Oof. Well, let's talk about credentials, right? So let's talk about his rap sheet. Let's talk about it.
Public information.
Oregon license. He had an Oregon license issued in 1997. Great. Expired. Another one. Issued in 2020. Expired in 2022, inactive. No board actions, no board website with this license. So practicing the entire time, no one said anything, because you know that if it came out in 2025, this has been happening for years and years and years.
And pattern.
It's patterns.
Give me more receipts, Nylene. I want more. I want more receipts.
Texas. He was in Texas. He was in Texas from 94 to 98. Then he was in Texas, right? No board actions on the board website with that license. So practicing in Texas, nothing. Nobody said anything. Just no renewal. Washington state license issued in 1999. Okay, with an expiration of March 20th. As of today, verified. Okay, it says active. But I will give them a little credit. They went ahead and put an alert on the board website saying that it's quote unquote pending enforcement action. So they are just kind of putting like a hold on it.
No, it's
kind
still
of thing?
action. It don't say no hold. It says active.
Well, right. It says active, but it says pending some type of action. It doesn't tell you what, but it just says it's pending some type of action.
Maybe they're waiting for 100 more women to come forward.
Maybe.
You know, maybe that's what they're waiting. Because I will tell you, I do live in Washington. And so this, we seen it, you know, we talked about it. And, you know, Facebook, everybody listening to us whenever we do talk, right? So now everywhere I go, Nylene, it tell me, look at here. If you've been a victim of this doctor, call this lawyer. Yeah, because we're filing a class action. And I think they think that I'm part of it because I've been researching it. But I'm like, nah, okay, look, well, at least I know that y'all got this going on now. You know, that's a good thing. If I'm a patient and I'm Googling his license right now and all I see is active and I'm looking for an OBGYN, he looks clean. I don't even know what it means, pending enforcement action, right? Because is that a red flag or isn't that, right? I mean, unless I squint, is it pending? I don't know. I don't know, Nylene. I mean, do I go to him as a patient? Tell me what to do.
Yeah, you would have to know where to look
Yeah.
to find where it says pending an action. You would have to know what to look for because if you were just a regular patient, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's credentialing code for we know something's up, but we'll let him keep practicing while we shuffle some paperwork. Again, separate processing system than for other types of crimes. And that's what's really killing me. And I have this saying at a couple of other episodes that we're in the process of releasing, but it really bothers me that there's no direct connection between criminal and the state boards immediately, like within 24 hours.
It should be there. If it's an abuse, they have to report it with it like a mandated reporting thing. I mean, I think we should advocate for that. Credentialing Chronicles advocates for that. And if we got to take it to Trump, because, you know, Trump make me feel like I could talk to him. I say, let me take it to Trump. Right? Trump, I got something for you to sign as an executive order. Okay? Okay? You gonna sign it because you got the certification. So you signing it because we taking it to the White House. Okay? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So if someone is like caught, right? So is he arrested now? What's going on?
No, he's not arrested. The people are just saying if you have more allegations. It doesn't even talk about, I haven't found anywhere where they're actually saying that the criminal part of it has now came into it. I mean, have you seen anything? All I see is that now there are over 14 lawsuits now. Like 8 came in, 5 came in, 2 came in. Like they've been coming in like that, you know?
All right. Well, let's pull the receipts because we need this timeline like in slow motion because girl, it's a train wreck.
Yeah, I know. Tell me.
So 2005, a former employee who was also a patient goes to management and says, hey, this doctor just made really sexually inappropriate comments to me. So you're talking 20 years ago. And do you know what the office manager told her?
Spill it now. Spill the tea.
She was told, oh, that's just Dr. So-and-so being Dr. So-and-so. It's all right. Oh, he don't mean nothing by it.
No. So, I mean, I know it's about to get messy then. If that's the first time it's been reported and that was the response, guess what that tells him? You could do it again. You can do it again, boo. Right? I mean, that's not quirky, right? That's not a personality trait. That means it's like a green light. Do it again. Do it again.
Exactly. They dismissed it like it was a catchphrase and that, you know, boys will be boys mentality. It really set the tone for allowing him to behave this way for the last 20 years. Yeah. So we're going to fast forward. So that was 2005. We're going to go to 2017. Patient goes in for what should have been just like a routine visit. The doctor performs a vaginal exam, right, with a nurse present, right? But girl, why is a nurse present and allowing this man to do an exam without using gloves? Without gloves.
You know, I need the patients to understand. Let's say you're in this position, right? What you need to say is time out. I need Dr. So-and-so to put some gloves on. He about to touch my vagina. Do y'all understand that? There should never be anybody around your vagina or your scrotum area without gloves on, right? I mean, because it's disgusting. It's infection control. Even if he wasn't being a predator, there's still malpractice that can be a part of that.
Absolutely. And the thing is the patient actually complained, but she was brushed off again.
That is crazy. And so feeling what? Humiliated, feeling unsafe, feeling like nobody's listening. The nurse is in the room, right? The nurse allowed it to happen. So there's a witness, right? But who is the nurse going to be on? Whose side is the nurse going to be on? The patient side or the doctor's side who is paying her? Whose side?
Right. So it's silence from the system because everybody needs a paycheck. Right? So now we're going to go to 2020. So we're in 2020, 15 years after the first incident. A mother brings her 16-year-old daughter to him. Instead of treating her with professionalism, he starts badgering this teenager about her sex life and talking to her about whether or not she's having sex. None of your business.
And the
right?
mom, what is the mom doing? What is she doing? I can't believe that. What happened?
Well, the mom later reported that he kept pushing and asking invasive questions that had nothing to do with the medical issue of why she brought her in. You know, there could be other reasons that teenagers have to go see a gynecologist that have nothing to do with being sexually active.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're badgering a teenager, right, like that is setting her up for not wanting to go see doctors anymore, for not trusting doctors, for not taking her feminine, health serious, right? And it puts, danger to women, minors. Ay, Nylene, are you guys listening? Woo!
Again, in 2020, another patient says that he physically blocks her from leaving the exam room.
That's what you was telling me about. That's what you was saying. Like put the arm on the door or like what?
He stood in front of the door insisting that he needed to perform a pelvic exam. And she said, no, I tried to leave and he wouldn't let her go until she turned around and threatened to call 911. Get out of my way. I'm about to kick you. Like, girl, kick him in the balls, like grab an object.
I'm going to block you in here until I can pelvic examine you. Oh my God. Oh, I don't even know. Okay. What? I mean, what do we say? Oh my goodness.
That's kidnapping.
At that point it is. I don't know the law and order. Dum, 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 dum.
Right. It's a hostage situation. I was taken hostage by my GYN. Like, what?
I need Ice-T to come out here, Liz, and come investigate.
Hey, Ice-T!
I see some kidnapping. I see some hostage. I see some sexual assault. Okay, I'm seeing things that Ice-T investigates.
Yes, Special Victims Crimes Unit. Okay, so let's go to 2023, girl. I mean, these are just one after another. I can't even imagine. A patient reports that he did a violent exam, and not just uncomfortable, girl, just flat out violent. He left her bleeding from both orifices.
I just can't even believe. I mean, that's assault. I need Ice-T again.
Yeah, and this patient went ahead and reported it immediately. She went to the clinic. She went to her primary care doctor, and do you know what happened? Do you know what happened?
No, tell it right now. Spill the tea. I need to know.
Another ignored complaint. It was ignored. Another woman harmed. Girl, because it's 2025 and that was back in 2023. So she's out here screaming her eyes out, doing exactly what we're telling patients to do, which is say something. And what do? Get ignored.
Well, let me tell you something I seen on TikTok. Girl, I had seen that this doctor, they said that it's called a WW woman, a whining woman. And they write that in your medical chart. And if you complain, let's say you say, oh, I have a headache, I have this, I have that. And they say, oh, let's check your thyroid or whatever. And it come back normal. They title you as a whining woman, WW. And they say, when they say, request your medical records, it's in the medical records. So the next doctor knows you a whining ass woman. And so look at that, because these red flags, right, are sitting here burning behind this man. And because it's happened to all these different women, they don't know. And so they go to one, they go, oh, she's just a whining ass woman. Oh, and then they go to another one. Oh, she's such a whining woman. But you don't know. You don't see the whole picture.
Wow. Exactly. So instead of action, what do? They just cover it up. And everybody's like, oh, this doctor's just being the doctor. An excuse paved the way for one after another, after another, after another.
To me, it sounds like a whole red flag parade was happening around this man. Remember when Dr. Vargas was on our show, which y'all will see by the time this drops, and he was talking about the culture? And you see, right? That's what I say. Like, you see such a good organization, like what he was talking about, what I see when we talk to him, he explains everything. But then you see something like this. And I think, what is the culture over there, Nylene?
Culture of not caring about your fellow women. What is wrong with you? I'm sorry. And I know you love your job, but it's like, there has to be a point where we have to be human and protect each other.
I mean, am I not a woman first before I'm a medical assistant? Before I'm a nurse watching this get done? Am I not a woman? Am I not a mother? Like, I just feel like those things come first, right? I'd be like, sir, hello. Girl, they would have fired me the first day.
Yeah, so let's go over the statement of charges, because like we said, all of this stuff is public and anybody can research it.
And it's all
here's where
current.
it gets
it's happening
official.
right now, yeah.
Right now, the Washington Department of Health filed a statement of charges. So I'm going to read you what, they wrote.
And not the medical board.
All right, so the DOH says that the doctor showed a pattern of conduct and lack of appropriate boundaries towards patients that falls below the standard of care. He body shamed the patients for being overweight. He made and implied sexual comments about their vaginas, pulled down a patient's pants himself during an ultrasound, which patients always undress themselves. So I don't understand why you think that's okay. But anyway.
I mean, he's stopping him at the door. He stopped him at the door. He pushed her on the table and then probably pulled her pants down.
And like, this is without permission, no drape. Like, they're supposed to give you the cover for yourself. Nothing.
They say change and we'll be back. It didn't seem like it happened like that. Again, culture. What kind of culture was happening? I don't get it.
And he didn't stop there, girl. To female staff, he commented on their weight, which can we just stop for a second and say, this is like a really American white man thing about people wanting these like little skinny women and thinking that if you've got 5 pounds overweight, you're somehow like, not a good woman, which I'm telling you, in cultures all around the world that are not American, okay, Caucasian, it is okay to have a couple extra pounds. And not to mention that there is no physician on the earth that has the right to make a derogatory comment about your weight. They can say diet and exercise. They can give recommendations. They can say about your health. They can check your blood sugar, but you are not here to comment about my weight. It's none of your business. Okay. He would even ask his staff to show them their breasts.
No.
Ask them if they were going to cheat on their husbands. Excuse me? Like, if I have to work for a man like that, I'm not working for you, you sick bastard.
Oh my God. And again, I'm sorry, but what is the culture that allows that to happen at the work? I mean, this is an equal opportunity creep because he's harassing the patients and the staff. So nobody hated him enough to say this cannot happen anymore. I mean,
right. So finally, so DOH, go ahead, drop the mic. Well, they said, because his behavior was rationalized, quote unquote. This is a quote: rationalized, normalized, and minimized. Why are we allowing this? Resulting in complaints being completely dismissed. So why are we allowing this? As women, why are we allowing men to speak to us in this manner at all, anywhere?
Yeah. And, basically, this is the hospital knew and the hospital shrugged and said it didn't matter. That's what, literally, that's what this is based on. You know, when we talked about the hospital for criminal charges, this is an example where a facility should be charged criminal charges for all the women that have been hurt and ignored and just literally passed by. Because come on.
Well, I had to keep digging because I had to read the statements from these victims. So, because again, all public records. So I had to go and I had to pull the allegations and the statements. So the statement listed specific patients. So we're going to go patient by patient and dates. So patient A, December 5th, 2022. Patient A said she comes in for a hysterectomy consult. She had a sterilization procedure earlier that year, but it caused complications. She had pain, cramping, bleeding during her periods, and she just wanted answers. So instead of explaining it to her, saying, hey, this is a normal, complication of this, we can do this to fix it or whatever. No, you know what he does? He turns around and starts asking her questions like, well, do you have pain with intercourse? And she's like, no. And then he keeps going, well, what about vaginal penetration? Do you have pain there?
But she's talking about her bleeding. She's not worried about sex.
Never mentioned that.
Yeah. Okay, so he ignores what she's actually telling him and then steers straight into sex talk. Okay, that's a red flag.
Hello. Then during the pelvic exam, he keeps asking about penetration, like even though she didn't say that that's where her pain was from. And to top it off, then he made comments about the appearance of her vagina.
What? Oh my goodness. I have never.
Yes, he did. Lord.
I am 46. I have been to so many pap smears and I have never. Have you?
No.
Has anybody ever made a comment
And he did.
about your vagina? Tell me, oh, it looks like a little happy beaver. I don't know. Does it? I never.
Comments about her body that had nothing to do with medicine, had nothing to do about her healthcare condition or her pain.
Or her bean. That's what they say. Okay. That's what they told Nylene. It looked like a bean. Okay. It's just, I don't even know what to do. It's not a console. I mean, oh my God. Every time we talk about him, it just gives me like a creepy feeling, just to talk about him, I feel creepy, So I can imagine,
dirty, right?
Yeah, I can imagine the energy in the exam room because you can feel that. Especially if you're a Pisces. If you're a Pisces, you're walking in there, you're feeling it all. You're like, oh Lord. This is creepy, okay?
Well, that's patient A, girl. So let's go to patient B. That was just one.
Oh, Lord.
Let's go to patient B.
Okay, let's go to patient B.
November 27, 2023, patient B, another hysterectomy consult. This time for bleeding and abdominal pain. So during the pelvic exam, instead of instructing her to reposition, girl, he grabs her. And you guys got to watch this video on YouTube so you can see my hands, what he actually did. He grabs her and uses
go to our
his
YouTube
hands
right now
to move. Yes, go to our YouTube. He grabs the hands, uses his hands to move her body on the table.
On her butt? Grabs her butt?
Grabs her butt.
Her pelvis?
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Yes, and touched her leg afterward. Then, as if that wasn't enough, when he's wrapping up, he made a comment I'm eager to see your vagina and I'm looking forward to being reunited with your womb.
If you don't change your OB after some shit like that, he said, let me schedule my follow-up. I'd like to see in 10 days. 10 days, okay? Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. I'm right here with the story. I don't even know what more you can say. Okay, what did patient B finish doing?
That's not medical. That's sexual. That's not medical, guys.
No, he's just out here now. He has no boundary at this point. I mean, he's like a villain, he's one of those people from a bad horror movie. I mean, I just can't believe he said that out loud. He was probably thinking it in his head and it came out like a slip. What do you think?
A slip? Yeah, girl, to her face. But she went ahead and reported it.
Reported it,
that's
good.
that was patient number B. Let's go to patient number C, because we got a C. So August 7, 2024, patient C comes in for a contraceptive implant removal, plus some concerns about abdominal pain, odor, and pain with sex. So he walks into the room and loudly screams, probably before the door even closed, "I heard your vajayjay smells bad."
He said that to the patient?
Yes, like loudly.
It said that in the Department of Health records?
Yes.
Poor baby. Oh, and it was probably because that freaking contraceptive was rotten in there. That's so unprofessional. That's so sadistic and hurtful to her. I'm sorry. If you're listening, I'm sorry, ma'am.
So then during the exam, he says that her vagina doesn't smell bad, like he's giving her a compliment. Then he adds comments about her husband's performance in bed, says that her vagina is dry, asks about whether or not she masturbates, like none of which had anything to do with the reason of her chief complaint, like why she actually was in there.
This sounds like a telenovela of ER. You know, just some bad telenovela, you know. I mean, just some blatant, movie star. He thinks he can do anything and never get caught. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just so bad.
He finishes the exam. Then he goes and then rubs her shoulders and makes more comments about her sexual activity.
The exam room is not, a sex booth. I mean, are you kidding? I mean, that's what it sounds like. It was just, like a fast food of vaginas for him to look at. That's abuse. I'm convicting it right now.
This wasn't medicine. It's abuse. It's sexual comments with no medical purpose. It's humiliation of patients. It's crossing boundaries with staff and patients.
It's terrible. I mean, I don't even know. What did the DOH say? I mean, under the law, that's unprofessional conduct, we know, right? I mean, if you want to be technical, it's violation of RCW 18.130.180. Abuse of patients, sexual contact with patients, negligence, creating harm, which is very important to think about. Because, this is a doctor, somebody that you're supposed to trust.
Right. So the board listed moral turpitude, negligence, violation of standards of care, and sexual abuse.
Let's translate that for the people in the back that don't understand it. They hit him with every hammer they could get him on, right?
Thank goodness. So when you line up the cases, you have patient A, patient B, patient C. Now, mind you, those three patients are not the same as the first few that we listed at the beginning. Separate complaints, separate patients. It shows a pattern. Even though you had different women, different years, it was the same tactics.
And the scariest part, please understand, is that he is still active license in Washington as of today, September 8th.
Yep. So that's why active, quote unquote, pending enforcement action doesn't mean safe. It means that the board is trying to catch up.
Yeah. And patients are left holding the trauma every single time while there is pending enforcement action, right? I mean, every single time the patient's sitting there waiting for somebody to believe their story. So I guess, he humiliated women on arrival. He sexualized them during their exam. And then he got handsy on the way out, right? I don't know. For me, I've never been a part of that. It's never been a textbook provider for me. So if any of those things are happening during your visit, you need to understand that you need to start marching with a red flag and getting your voice heard.
Absolutely. And he violated, like you said, multiple laws. So he stated the laws that were there: the turpitude, negligence of malpractice, creating risk of harm, violating statutes, abuse of patients, abuse of by making sexual, things. So he violated, and they are charging him and accusing him by violating multiple laws.
Even humiliating patients. The biggest thing though, I like as we're going into, wrapping this up, is the credentialing aspect of this. There has to be reports that were coming in. Things were coming into these different medical staff offices. And so people were being asked probably to look the other way, or they're presenting it to medical executive committee and nothing's being done on it. And if you have situations going on like that, you have to know that at some point the shell is going to crack. I mean, this can't keep happening to patients, right? I mean, I'm like, when is his license going to be revoked?
Years and years and years. This wasn't just one secret predator. This was an open secret. Complaints were being brushed off all the time. Staff jokes were turned into cover-ups. Gossip dismissed as, the doctor just being the doctor. That should never be said.
Never. It used to be said all the time back in the day. And I mean, this is what credentialing is supposed to prevent. I mean, all the time, we are the safety net. And when leadership ignores the net, patients fall straight through. And again, if it's happening in your facility, if things are happening like this, call the Department of Health. Do a report.
But there were whispers, girl. There were whispers. The nurses were warning each other and telling staff, don't be alone with him. Don't go alone in the room. Don't let him alone with patients. Like, hello, who goes sees an OBGYN? It's only women. Women are the only ones who are going to see an OBGYN.
And it stayed gossip, right? It never took an action, And again, there's different women, different names, right?
Yeah, it's a system that's designed to go ahead and look the other way. Like, we're supposed to just do that. So we need to wrap this up. Give some PSA.
Well,
we only had enough of one story today, which is crazy.
We need to have protect women over reputation of the doctors. I mean, I understand that, one complaint coming in could hurt somebody very much. But if you're seeing a pattern of behaviors, I'm sorry, it has to be about protecting women. I mean, it's just, you see it everywhere with the OBGYNs. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just, woo. All right, let's do PSAs. Nylene, you go first. Let's tell the patients, because those are the ones, that are always left holding the bag.
Check the doctor's license. If you see pending enforcement action, screen that, please. That means that the board is filing charges. Ask questions. And if your doctor makes you uncomfortable, walk out. And if he doesn't let you walk out the door, grab the hardest object you can find and swing it across his head. And let him get out of the room. Start screaming. Start doing something. You don't want to assault him because you don't want to get... girls, start screaming. I don't know what you got to do. Grab the sharp object and say, I'm going to hurt you. Get out of my way. So report it. And even though, unfortunately, it took multiple complaints for these women to be listened to, it gets recorded that somebody complained. So please report if you felt uncomfortable.
And then, when it always comes out, it's always like, that person saved so many. You're going to be that person. You're going to be the person that saved so many people after you. And so be that person, be that person that is the hero. Be the hero, I'll do for physicians. Stop covering up for predators. Dr. Smith ain't Dr. Smith. If you see Dr. Smith doing some of these things, you must report it. You must say, look, Dr. Smith, you have to resign, or we going to have to do something. Loyalty to your peers does not outweigh loyalty to your patients. Do no harm, number one. And if you stay silent, that makes you complicit. You are an accessory. Sir, ma'am, please.
Yes, and credentialing and MSPs dig deeper than just the word active. Active doesn't mean safe. Track pending enforcements, document complaints, Google your doctors, push leadership to act. We're the last line of defense. And we do get to talk to a lot of the doctors before they're actually on staff. So we get that first initial feeling. If you get a feeling, it's a thing. We are just a different breed of humans, most MSPs, and we can tell so much sooner, and just understand to share that you got those feelings, and it's okay. It's okay. Document it somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And you ain't never lied. And, this case is one of the biggest scandals happening in Washington medical history right now. I need you to understand that. So many patients are coming out about this doctor. Again, like Nylene said, from 2005. We're talking 20 years. And again, a caseload is what? 30, 20 patients a day, multiplied by times 4 or 5 times a week, multiplied times 20. You know, I mean, the numbers can get up there, right, Nylene? I mean, I'm not a mathematician, right? Yeah. Look, Nylene's about to go crazy.
Neither am I, but it's a lot of thousands.
It's a lot. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of people. And like I said, there's, you know, it's the real shame, right? Again, that it took lawsuits, bleeding patients, kidnapping, you know, the need for Ice-T to be here and investigate some of this. And then on top of it, the Department of Health to literally get involved because the medical board would not take action before anything happened. And so you just really need to think about that. And that's why we do what we do. You have to like and share and follow. I ask that free favor of you because we need to get more stories out like this because people don't understand that the credentialing is something that could fix things like this. And more credentialing people need to hear it.
Yeah, let's be clear. Active pending enforcement should never mean still able to practice.
It should mean lots of questions, right? And so credentialing compliance are respected. The story will repeat until, you know, CMOs take things seriously and advocate to the leadership. Like MEC is like, no, my people found this. They don't feel right. We cannot submit. That is when the change will happen. And let me tell you, no AI ever will replace that.
Amen, sister. So this is Credentialing Chronicles. Make sure you follow, subscribe, visit us, credentialingchronicles.com, Instagram @Cred Chronicles. Yes, please. So follow us, like us,
YouTube,
subscribe
Facebook,
to our newsletter, YouTube. Yes,
LinkedIn.
Credentialing Chronicles. Yes, iHeartRadio, Audible, all your podcasting platforms.
We are there.
So yes, and tell us. Yes. What can we do better? What's worse? What's really annoying?
Like us, even if you don't like us with a heart, like me with a sad face. Like me that you mad. I just like any way you want. I'm not mad at how you like. Okay, bye, y'all.
All right, girls. See you guys.
Ooh, that was a whole lot of tea. Who knew doctors had more drama than reality TV?
And if you think that was wild, just wait till next week. We've got more stories, more scandals, and more credentialing chaos coming your way.
And if you love the tea, please don't keep it to yourself. Like to show us you're listening. Please comment and join the conversation. And follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, share so everyone else can sip with us.
Yeah, so see you next time on Credentialing Chronicles. Stay credentialed, not canceled.